The Irish Nationality and Citizenship for Children Bill 2020 in the name of Deputy Mick Barry. Deputy Barry, to move for leave to introduce.
Move.
Is that agreed?
Yeah.
Agreed. Is the bill being opposed? The motion for leave to introduce is agreed. Ask Deputy now to outline his bill first.
So, the Irish Nationality and Citizenship for Children Bill 2020 seeks to do two things. Number one, to restore automatic citizenship for all children born on the island of Ireland. And number two, to provide citizenship for children residing here for 3 years or more. I think it's fair to say that the decision to move this bill at such a relatively early stage in this Parliament has been inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement. The bill will reverse the legislation enacted in 2005 on foot of the 2004 citizenship referendum, which was, in my opinion, a racist referendum. And it aims to provide security and rights for thousands of young people growing up in this country undocumented. The 2004 referendum removed automatic birthright for citizenship for young people born on this island if they did not have parents coming from the EU or a small number of other European countries. It has impacted the lives of thousands of young people, not least the hundreds of young people who have been deported from this country since that time or who face deportation today. Now, it's particularly apt that the bill is being moved at this time because a young person who was born around the time that legislation was enacted is coming up pretty close to their 16th birthday now. And they are facing into the denial of freedoms and rights that their peers, their friends and their classmates enjoy. Let me give you just a couple of examples from some recent parliamentary questions. So I wrote to Minister Varadkar to ask if measures would be put in place to ensure that persons born here post-2005 that are not Irish, UK, EEA or Swiss nationals will not need to apply for work permits or other authorisations to work here. And in his reply, Minister Varadkar said, in order to work in the state, all non-EEA citizens require a valid employment permit or relevant immigration permission issued by the Minister of Justice and Equality. So young people born in this country face the prospect of having to apply for work permits in order to work in this country. I asked Minister Harris if measures would be put in place to ensure that students born here who have not been long-term resident in Ireland but are not Irish, UK, EA or Swiss citizens will be able to avail of the free fees scheme and apply for SUSI grants. And in his reply, Mr. Harris said, to qualify for a student grant, it is the candidate's nationality or his or her immigration status in the state that determines whether or not he or she meets the nationality required outlined in the Act and regulations. And goes on to say, where students do not qualify for free fees funding, they must pay the appropriate fee. So in other words, young people born in this country or who grew up in this country face the prospect of having to pay exorbitant fees to go to college and in effect be locked out of third level education. This is a scandal in my view. Now, if the Black Lives Matter movement showed anything, it showed that the children of immigrants are not prepared to accept this discrimination. They want equality and they want the removal of obstacles to a decent life. You know, I think that some of the things that were said during that movement sum that up. Chap called, I hope I do justice to pronunciation, Tamilor Awanusi said, during the recent discourse, the Ireland isn't racist rhetoric has made me uncomfortable. Could it be that this norm is so embedded in our culture to the point where we're oblivious to it? Erica Cody said, we've endured so much and Irish people of colour are ready to tell their stories and ready to be heard. This is not going to go away and people are ready for change worldwide. I think that mood in the streets, we're attempting to bring that into this Parliament. with a clear message summed up in this bill: the time for discrimination is gone and the time for equality is now. I move the bill.